What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. Hello. I just wanted to do that. I really can't remember the rest of the Adele song. I just know the hello from the other side, but I'm gonna get that soon. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I'm back. I got news. We got things to talk about. Everything in the White House kind of went wild today. Today was Pelosi's last day. Hakeem Jeffries took over for her. Richie Torres is writing the House Republicans are in chaos. Matt Gaetz presses the architect of the Capitol to evict McCarthy from the Speaker's office, calling him a squatter, and McCarthy moves out. Hakeem Jeffries, who earned the highest of votes in 3 rounds of voting, should be the one to move in. Even Hakeem got more votes than McCarthy in every single ballot. Here's Hakeem on everything.
If you are looking for a willing partner and they approached you with a consensus candidate that is a Republican but is more moderate, maybe open to negotiating with you and getting some of these legislative items accomplished, would members of your caucus be open to voting for a Republican that would be that type of consensus candidate?
We are looking for a willing partner to solve problems for the American people, not save the Republicans from their dysfunction. We need a partner in governance to build upon the incredible progress that we made for the American people over the last few years. By the way, with a similar majority. But under the great leadership of Speaker Pelosi, Democrats united, progressives, New Dems, and Blue Dogs united, we accomplished extraordinary things on behalf of the American people. The American Rescue Plan saved the economy from a deep recession. Shots in arms, money in pockets, kids back in school. Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, creating millions of good-paying jobs for the American people, fixing our crumbling bridges, roads, tunnels, airports, our sewer and water systems, our mass transportation systems, and ensure high-speed internet access in every single community. Gun safety legislation for the first time in 30 years that will save lives and make our neighborhoods safer. The CHIPS and Science Act to bring domestic manufacturing jobs back home to the United States of America, and the Inflation Reduction Act to strike a decisive blow against the climate crisis, set our planet on a sustainable trajectory forward, lower energy costs, strengthen the Affordable Care Act, lower health care costs, and drive down the high price of life-saving prescription drugs for millions of Americans. And those are just the highlights of what Democrats did with a similar narrow majority. So we're ready to get to work to build upon those accomplishments if we can find a partner willing to govern on behalf of the American people. Back to.
So that happened, and then the Republicans removed the metal detectors. That was like one of the first things, their orders of business that they did. Marjorie Taylor Greene is speaking out. I mean, they're kind of been imploding on each other. See if I can get her her little snippet on her going off about Lauren. For some reason, her and Lauren Bobbitt and all them don't like each other. So here's her openly attacking Matt Gaetz.
That's what I found out in there. I am furious. Let me tell you something. While the conservatives that the base supports and believes in, let me remind everyone, they're not perfect either. Scott Perry, before his general election, refused to vote against the bill that was all about the gay marriage bill. He didn't. He refused to vote against it. He voted for it. Then when it came back around after his election, he was able to vote against it. Conservatives would not like that. Let me remind everyone this. Matt Gaetz, who has compared Kevin McCarthy to Paul Ryan, my friend Matt Gaetz, he supported Paul Ryan almost more than anyone. It's still on his social media. As a matter of fact, his first vote in Congress was for Paul Ryan as Speaker. And then he cheered him on for nearly a year and a half or more when people like me were at home furious at Paul Ryan's speakership because it wasn't passing the MAGA agenda that we all supported. Chip Roy, he refused to object on January 6th. That's not what our base wanted. He also set out the vote for the January 6th committee. There's many more. Bob Good, $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Lauren Boebert, under $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Many more people have taken Kevin McCarthy's money to get elected, and then there's a few of them that don't want to support him as Speaker. So imagine that. This is not anything about the country. This is all about never Kevin. They just don't like Kevin McCarthy. And you cannot be successful in anything if you aren't able to walk in a room, make what you want, and get a deal done, and then walk away with the W and get to work and not worry about who you like and who you don't like. This is not about prom king. This is not about a pastor. This is about electing a person to sit in the speaker chair so that we can all get to work.
So yeah, they're kind of imploding on each other over there. If this is what's to come, man, I just don't even know. It's kind of a whole mess right now. I mean, this is just day one of them taking over. It's kind of wild. What else is going on, guys? You know, there's always lots going on. The NFL player that had the cardiac arrest, he is breathing on his own. So that is some good news. So Malachi Love Robinson, who gained national infamy as a teenager when he impersonated a doctor to defraud a patient, is heading back to prison after pleading guilty to stealing more than $10,000 from his employer. This little teen doctor, he just can't stop scamming. They probably need to get the boy counseling. The bodies of 4 people killed in a helicopter crash near New Orleans last week has been recovered. This is an interesting story. 2 adults and 2 children were rescued from a Tesla that plunged 250 feet off of a cliff. And I was trying to figure out what happened here. The car was traveling on the highway when it went off of Devil's Slide. I would not even want to drive on that road. It flipped and landed on its wheels, but they were all rescued and survived, so that might be good for Elon Musk because a Tesla surviving a cliff fall is wild. The Southwest Airlines Pilots Association has published a letter denouncing the airline's leadership as a cult, and they say they have spent the past 15 years destroying the company's legacy. Interesting. The U.S. Postal Service can continue to deliver prescription abortion medication despite a June 2022 ruling that overturned the landmark abortion rights. Let's see what else is going on. And Damar Hamlin is a Buffalo Bills. So tonight, Amber McLaughlin, the openly transgender person, is supposed to be executed tonight by lethal injection. So which I figured McCarthy was not going to bend on that at all. Let's see what else happened here. The Southern California beachfront property that was taken from a black couple through eminent domain a century ago and returned to their heirs last year will be sold back to Los Angeles for $20 million. So they gave it back. Interesting. Let's see what other news we want to talk about. There's always something to talk about. And of course, I have plenty of story time. I don't know. I'm ready to get out of this. It's mostly all about this political news, and these people will be fighting all year. We have all year to talk about them. All year. People with TLC, Chili from TLC is dating the Boy Meets World star Matthew Lawrence, and people are already very upset about this. I don't know if it's because he's a white guy or what, but they are already like, Chili, she downgraded, it's just kind of wild. U.S. life expectancy drops to the lowest level since 1996. They said that the term death rate jumped 5% from 834. Life expectancy decreased in 2021 to 76 years for the second consecutive year, down from 77. So 76 years old is the new life expectancy. Let's see what else we got here, y'all. I'm just looking at some of these stories are not worth talking about. I can tell you that very much so. For real. Like, of course you guys know there's a new COVID variant. That would be depressing to talk about. I think we're going to get into this story time because all the rest of this stuff is kind of repetitive and kind of lame. So let's jump over and see what I got for you guys. I know I got some stuff. Let's see.
Brian, you McKnight, Mr. 1, a nightmare come true. 2, just wanna beat on you. 3, Brian McKnight. And 7-day, he grew up 7-day Adventist just like me. Like his family went to Oakwood. You a 7-day Adventist, Brian. You fucking better. But I'm not going to sit there and have you disrespect my cousin's children by saying they're ungrateful and by saying they ain't got shit and saying that they jealous of your new kids. Tell your new wife to get a mouth grill and to get a helmet for when you decide to go all fucking crazy like you do on the prostitutes that you pay to choke out and beat like a fucker while you fucking them, you dirty bitch. You Brian McKnight. Don't you ever talk about my cousin's children ever again. And your son sings better than you, bitch. That's the whack part. Your son got you beating vocals all fucking day. You Brian, keep your children's name out your mouth. Keep my cousin's children's name out your fucking mouth. You want to get a little publicity? Here's some publicity. Her name is Kelly Worthington. She grew up in South Jersey and she worked at Delilah's for many years. She is the cousin church again. You know, put your Jesus on. Put your Jesus on for Christmas. So Merry Christmas, asshole. He the asshole of the day. Brian McKnight is the asshole of the day that I gotta see you talking shit about my cousin's kids. So yeah, that just got me a little. Yeah, I mean that nigga got real comfortable. He got real comfortable. Don't you ever get too fucking comfortable, Brian McKnight. Talking about my cousin's kids. You, your son sing better than you, and he cuter than you too. Go find another prostitute to beat the fuck up, bitch. I gave y'all all the names. Go check it out. Go check it out. I wish Brian McKnight would sue me. Cause I know a couple other motherfucking prostitutes that you done with too. So yeah, Merry Christmas, that's all I had to say.
That's that Jaguar light, right, baby lady again. And she be dropping a lot of things, and the thing that's interesting is nobody is suing her over this. That's the part that makes you a little skeptical. Let's go to the next one.
Oh, because when I did it,
can you walk us through it?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk you through it. So, I went to his house. I'm thinking it's just some regular shit. I'm like, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. He's like, hold on, wait to use the bathroom. I'm like, what you mean, wait to use the bathroom? I'm like, I gotta go pee now. He's like, just wait. So, anyways, he ended up telling me what he's into. Shit. No, I had to pee. But he like both. He's with all the shits at this point.
All the shits is wild.
Literally and figuratively. He's like, crazy. This is what I like. This is what I'm into. So I'm like, I'm going to need a big bag for that one. And, he paid how he weighed. And I'm not going to lie, I did it. And I never did no shit like that. And when I did, it made me sick. Like, I'm throwing up.
Did it stink?
Hell yeah, stink. Like, it didn't smell good. I'm like,
how did he, were you guys on the floor? How did he lay down? Y'all in the bed?
He was on the floor. He had, multiple different ways. I'm like, look, I can't shit this many times in one day now. So he just laying on the floor, and, it made me throw up. And he's like, throw up on me. I'm like, you're sick as fuck.
This nigga sick as hell. His back or his stomach?
His back. He's eating
so that
his
nigga,
mouth.
That shit dripping in his jaw.
Smell
like shit. It fucking smell like shit. The fuck?
That nigga had his mouth open, waiting for the shit to drop in his
mouth. I ate a good burger that day.
His mouth was open?
Yeah, his mouth was open. He swallowed it. I'm like, he probably gonna die. The fuck? I threw up, and he asked me to throw up on him and eat it. I'm like, if this is what you like, baby, I love it. Like, okay.
Oh,
Are these turds?
Tripping, my nigga.
No, it was more so a little runny that day.
What's wrong with it? She said a little runny
that day. It was a runny day, but he loved it. He really.
When y'all hear silence, that's just me, because I listen to this at the same time as y'all. So this girl got paid to poop on this man, and he ate it. And she got paid a lot of money for this. This is what I be saying, though, because, it's 2023 now, and a lot of people used to look down on these people with their fetishes and be like, oh, these women are degrading themselves. But some of these people, men and women, pay big money for things to be done to them, and it's very wild. It's very weird. But they have fetishes, and so I don't really know how you classify this, because this isn't really like prostitution per se. This is like fetishes, and then if they are paying for these services, can we be mad at them? Because I would rather them pay a professional, I guess, than to go try to do something obscene, which this is very obscene. But if you paid for it, and you had two consenting adults, I don't know. I think we need to let them be, because these people continue to pay. I keep hearing these weird fetish stories, and people continue to pay for these things. So I just don't know. I wouldn't really classify this as sex work per se. This is fetish work. Things that I could not do. I don't know. Some money is sometimes you got to draw a line. Hey, let's go to the next one.
The best way I can explain it, I want to try and give like the best analogy I can, is that I was with Wendy Williams on Hot 97 in New York City doing an interview. And there's questions because people don't see me out with nobody. They know I got this big record, but they don't see me dating nobody. And so, back at the time, they're like, well, is he gay? Like, what's going on with him? Who is this guy? There's got to be something, popping off with him. And Def Jam was like, yo, you got to say something. So I'm with Wendy Williams, and she's like, yo, you got all this fame. You got big records, all this money and everything. There's got to be somebody in your life that you're sharing it with. And I said to Wendy, I'm married to my music. I said, I'm married to my music. Now, let me just go past it with you for just a second. The word of God tells us that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. And so what's happening is, if I am saying with my mouth, I'm married to my music, what does that make my wife? She becomes a mistress.
The side piece.
She becomes a side piece, a mistress to the music. And so out of my mouth, I'm proclaiming that I'm married to music, and I'm not claiming my wife. And so because of that, that's what starts playing out in my life. And I'm in all these different arenas, and in all those different arenas come all these different temptations, and all of those different temptations don't have a visible price tag. They don't have a visible price tag. So I don't know the cost of the relationship. I don't know the cost of free alcohol. I don't know the cost of flying first class. I don't know what I don't know. And so not just is finance recoupable, but life is recoupable. You know what I'm saying? What you spend on your body and alcohol is recoupable. At some point, that means you got to pay up. And so every alcohol, every faulty relationship, every bad financial decision, every dark place that I went and did, all of that is recoupable. Man, I hope somebody gets this. Nothing is for free. Everything is going to cost something. Even salvation that's free, it costs you your life, because everything is recoupable. And so in the process, I put my marriage on the altar of the recording industry and sacrificed it for fame and for wealth and for notoriety and for counterfeit relationship. Yo, Prez, when I say the word counterfeit, I would ask every one of your listeners out there, everybody that's viewing this, would you rather have 1 million counterfeit dollars or one real dollar? Now think about that before you answer. See, because counterfeit money will spend.
Yes, it will.
Right? Counterfeit money will spend. If people don't recognize it's counterfeit, 1 million counterfeit bucks can go somewhere. It'll spend. But there's still going to come a time where what you are spending is going to become recoupable. And when it's found out that money is not real, that those flights are not real, that fame is not real, that wardrobe to the Soul Train is not real, the house that you film Cribs in is not real, that none of that thing is real, then you realize you have built a real life in an unreal world, and everything that you have charged to your name and to your fame and to your accolades, somebody wants the payback of that. And they will take it from the finance, or they will take it from your flesh. They'll take it from your finance. They will take it from whatever, because it's recoupable. It's the deal you agreed to. And so I'm not a conspiracy theorist or Illuminati. I don't know all that deals with I don't know none of that. I know that I made deals with the record label, and those deals required me to recoup the stuff that I spent. And so I built a counterfeit life. The second album, the third album, as we start walking through it, everything built on something else, because that's how labels and how business is designed, to make you be in a place where you always are in a state of recouping.
Man, you dropped a lot of gems in that.
I feel like I preached a sermon right there, Prez.
So remember that all you guys that want to go to Hollywood, there's a price you pay.
Dana White just got into a fight with his wife on New Year's Eve night. I can't even show you the video. I will show you on my other platforms, but be sure to go over to my red platform to check that out. He actually attacks his wife. Wait, guys, go check it out and tell me what you guys think, because it's rough.
So yeah, look at that video, because I mean, he did, but she slapped the mess out of him too. Like, sis wasn't going down. It wasn't just him. Like, sis looked like they fight plenty of times. Like, she was slapping him. It was like, I don't condone either one, but he obviously is way more bigger than her. But sis was like, she slapped the heck out of Dana White. And I was like, whoa. So yeah, if y'all go watch that was interesting. I don't know what he did that New Year's Eve. I would love to know. See, this is a Beyonce, Jay-Z, Solange fight we didn't get to see in the elevator that we should have seen, because that's how you know they be fighting, because they know that people are filming them. Like, it's Dana White of the UFC, and his wife did not care. She slapped his butt first, and I was just like, I can't imagine what they do behind closed doors. I do not condone domestic violence, by the way, but sis slapped the mess out of him.
So you mean to tell me this fog is everywhere in the country right now? This is not normal. And you can literally see, like, how it just looks dirty. Like, the air just looks dirty. And y'all know where it's coming from. All that heavy spraying. It's crazy.
So y'all know I love a good conspiracy theory, and we have had a lot of fog. So take that as you will. But the sun did try to peek its head through that dirty. Anyway, let's keep going.
Second ABC News producer dead within a week. Erica Gonzalez, 28, died overnight following the death of producer Dax Tejera. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think.
So I saw this story, and it's kind of weird. I just don't even understand it. This is the second one that did it, that passed away. They were saying that, I'm just saying that they put why. Of course, they didn't disclose it, but that is strange that they've had two pass away in a week, and I don't know. I'll have to follow up on this, because that's kind of wild and weird. I'm sure I can go to Twitter and dig up something, but that'll be something worth revisiting. So we'll go back and see like what's going on with that. Let's go to the next one.
Hey, so you asked how did I get started? So I actually got started. A friend of mine started as we were already engaging in, smoking marijuana, drinking alcohol. It was no big deal at the time. We're young, think you're having fun. Well, little did I know crack would have the devastating effect on me that it did. At the time, I was already self-medicating, did not know that at the time, but going through some trauma, some family challenges, some issues in my life that I did not realize was causing me to feel low, unworthy, unloved, and I was really just feeling voids and self-medicating. So yes, it was experimenting, and yes, at the time I, was having fun, and it quickly down spiraled to the point of devastation.
Yeah, crack is whack. So I know my attention span's short, so I wanted to go back to that Erica Gonzalez story. So the two ABC News producers were Erica Gonzalez, she was only 28, and 37-year-old Dax Tejera. They were saying, of course, a lot of people were saying that Erica Gonzalez was an ABC producer that died suddenly, along with Dax, and they're saying that ABC has been in litigation for denying religious exemptions for the jab. They were requiring all employees to be injected, no exceptions. You know, you got to have the jab, the anti-vaxxers come out and say this. But they really are not, with all the little conspiracy theorists around there, really the only thing people are saying is it was due to the vaccine mandates, or are they trying to say someone took them out? Kind of sounds strange, seeing as how they're just two local news reporters. But that's what they're saying, because I know I'll forget of the story.
The woman decided after having her last baby 3 years ago to take the proactive choice of tying her tubes. What she didn't know was it would change the quality of her life forever. 36-year-old Shawnice Chantel, who is now legally and physically disabled after having a simple tubular ligation, says she used to live an adventurous and upbeat life.
I was a healthy young lady. I was working a full-time job. I was very adventurous, active. I went to have the baby. And the most shocking thing is I opted for a tubal ligation. I did not know the risk, but what took place is I always heard that they were very successful, you know. I never knew that there was any bad thing that could possibly happen.
Chantel says 2 days after having the procedure done, she began experiencing fainting episodes and felt like the inside of her body was on fire. It was then she learned that the intestine connected to her bowel had been grazed during surgery, which began to infect all of her major organs.
So that is wild, like just getting your tubes tied. Shoosh. I had mine, I did not have any side effects, but you just never know. Any surgery you get is dangerous.
So just a quick moment of transparency. I feel like God is telling me to put this video on here, and why I'm telling all my business, I don't know, but I'm just going to be obedient. When my dad was actively dying a couple of years ago, I turned to divination because I needed some answers, and I felt like I grew up a Baptist kid. I had seen so much at that point, like I was just like, I don't want anything to do with the church. So I turned to divination. I started reading tarot cards. I have over 44 decks of tarot cards. I started doing energy work. I found a great Reiki master who taught me very well. So I started doing energy work real heavy. I started doing candle magic. I had all of the stones. I even have Moldavite, studying Ifa, Santeria, Lukumi, and even I had a priestess that was Kalamayambe. So then I got to the point where I was actively going through war, and God was telling me, be still, like, don't go burn a candle, don't do none of that, don't say nothing, don't write nothing on the page. And I'm like, why? Like, I want to, like, I could take care of this myself. And I felt like God was saying, like, I got something for you, but you're gonna forfeit it all if you move outside of my will. And so I've literally been sitting still for I don't know how long, and this shit is driving me crazy. And it's like, I love God and I believe in God, but I just feel like I've lost so much control. And, just to deal with people's egos, to deal with people's lies, to always, wake up feeling inadequate or what's wrong with me. Like, I'm a good person. Why do people fuck over me? Why do people lie on me? Why do they try to sabotage my happiness or my life or all of those different things? And why don't I have anybody to trust? Why don't I have anybody to love? So I say that to say this, like, I've really been pondering and thinking about just going back to what I used to do. And I know that's not what God wants to hear, but I just felt like he was telling me, like, get on the internet and somebody's going to hear you. But I guess more than anything, like, if people are meant to see this, I don't need, like, have a happy new year, all that type of stuff. Like, I really need people to just pray for me that I don't go back down that road. Like, pray for my soul. That's all I need at this point. Just pray for me. And Happy New Year's to everyone.
Follow up, I did go in her comments and she got rid of them cards. Like, y'all be wanting to know too much. Having the peace that surpasses understanding is a very good thing. We don't need to know everything. I know we want to, but that is literally not what life's about. That's why we just have imaginations. Like, I mean, you know, let God worry about the rest. I know it's easier said than done, but that stuff will literally drive you insane to where you can start having anxiety and make up these things that haven't even happened, aren't happening. It'd be too much. And I got a prayer for that in there because I am against that stuff big time because I have a very active imagination, if you can't tell by this podcast, because I'll be all over the place, but I do remember my center and my core, which is God. So that is in here, but let's keep going.
Y'all gotta see this video.
I can't name names.
You can't name names.
I can just say Jocelyn is my fiance and I love her and she loves me and we're together still.
Okay. Is this
I can say that. She is not in my case or none of that.
And is this
she's not against me.
Okay. Now they are saying that she had a child. Is that true or is that
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
She didn't have a child. I didn't put out an album. And if I would have put out an album, it would be called I Admit It.
Exactly.
You have to start using common sense at some point.
Case against R. Kelly to reportedly be dropped, R. Kelly could be released from prison according to an iHeartRadio news report. The federal charges against R. Kelly might be dropped. R. Kelly's case is up for appeal according to a news report by 103.5 FM radio station. Robert Kelly, also known by his stage name as R. Kelly, was found guilty on 9 charges last year and given a 30-year jail term in June by a federal court in New York. The jury in that case concluded that Kelly had committed a crime. And the Kelly case is reportedly up for appeal. Attorneys are contending that regardless of how you feel about him or his alleged crimes, he did not participate in criminal activity in the case, which is currently on appeal, although the lower court rejected this defense. Many legal experts believe that R. Kelly's attorneys have a real chance of winning the case on appeal. According to alleged evidence and testimony given in court, the New York case focused on accusations and claims that Kelly, his bodyguards, drivers, managers, and others created a decades-long system that led to him reportedly breaking the law. In a federal court in Illinois, R. Kelly was charged with distinct federal offenses that had a much higher likelihood of being proven true. The Illinois trial was planned to concentrate on R. Kelly's alleged actions and alleged video recordings. However, it now seems that the prosecution might be dropping those accusations. Reportedly, someone who accused R. Kelly said that they were informed that the prosecution was dropping the charges against R. Kelly, and other media outlets have corroborated this claim. Reportedly yesterday, the first person to come out and accuse R. Kelly shared that information all over social media, and it has everyone talking and speculating. R. Kelly seems to be untouchable from when he started off his career with a group by the name of Public Announcement. R. Kelly is a master producer, composer, and performer, and is often called by many the king of R&B despite all of his controversies. R. Kelly also continues to stay in the news as relates to his ex-wife, Andrea Kelly, who was a former backup dancer and had 3 children with him. What do you think about the cases? Do you think the case will be dropped? Please provide your feedback in the comment section below.
I don't, but he might get out early.
Who finna wear 2 $25,000 necklaces? Who? Not me. I can't wait till the day somebody rob me and they get fake shit. I can't wait. Ever since I heard that Kim K did that shit, I was on it. It just makes the most sense. Like, it look. Hey, look, you hold it up next to the real, you can't tell the difference.
Another truth.
AKA catch me outside, girl. Catch me outside, girl. Although she'll always be that. But she's smart. This is smart. Wear fake jewelry. That is like, who's going around with all that jewelry on? That's actually the smartest thing I've ever heard her say.
Egyptians are trying to cancel Kevin Hart. What the fuck? Did you hear that? Right? They mad at Kevin Hart because Kevin Hart said that ancient Egyptians were African.
They're mad. So they got these.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
Before I leave, say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again.
They're mad.
Because
Kevin Hart said that ancient Egyptians were African.
What the fuck? Wait. Wait. I was getting ready to leave, but we can talk about this because a lot of people don't understand that Egypt
is in Africa.
On the continent.
In the continent.
Of Africa.
Right.
Speechless.
We may be on the brink of creating not just a new enhanced species of human, but an entirely new kind of being. We are one of the last generations of Homo sapiens. Within a century or two, Earth will be dominated by entities that are more different from us than we are different from chimpanzees. What the hell does that mean? That freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this wasn't on my reparations bingo card. Benedict Cumberbatch, or otherwise known as a man who has played Doctor Strange for Marvel Studios movies for like the last decade. Oh, his family apparently owned a sugar plantation in Barbados, and they could face legal pressure to pay reparations. This is the part that gets me. His mom wanted him not to use his last name in case it made him a target for reparations. What? When the plantation was forced to close, his family was actually given reparations. Reparations that would total $3.6 million in today's money.
Edward Norton was another guy that came out and said that his family owned slaves, which I'm sure there's a lot of them, honestly.
Biden's a child molester. And he kidnaps children and does horrible things to them. Just like Hillary Clinton and Obama, who made the virus. The virus is man-made. It doesn't exist. Kids need to be put back in school. People who are pulling the strings is the Italian Vatican. They actually are reptilian bloodlines from another planet. They're basically robots. And the evil people that are there, such as the Rothschilds, who suck blood out of children to get adrenochrome and stay young and beautiful forever, they pick them up and they take them to a submarine and go underground until they can get to Epstein Island, which is where they...
I'm so curious how he remembers all the conspiracy theories. Because to be honest, when I was 17, that was like literally 30 years ago. 13 years ago, I was heavy into conspiracy theories. I loved them. But I could never dream about talking about them in such an articulate way. This kid is a fucking genius. But his intellect, is it wasted on conspiracy theories?
His parents have taught him a lot. I'm very curious as to what, I don't know. I got two more. The last one's going to be, I'm going to save the best for last, but let's go.
Who has been parenting my daughter for 10 years doesn't want to adopt her after she asked him to be her dad for real, and I don't know what to do about our marriage. I had a child when I was 16 and I'm not with her father, and quite honestly, I don't know where he is. He wanted nothing to do with my daughter. When she was 6, I met my current husband. He promised me he would love her and treat her like his own, and he seems like he has. We have more kids together, and it was her 16th birthday last week, and she told me she wanted her stepdad to adopt her. I thought this was a great idea, and he's always been her dad anyways. He said yes, and there were a lot of happy tears, and my younger kids were happy. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. That night, he told me he wanted to talk. He told me that he did love her, but not the same, and he felt a bit weird adopting her because he felt like it would be a disservice to her to have a dad who didn't love her like his other kids. He told me that he wanted to talk to her about it and say that she could definitely take his last name if she wanted to, but he couldn't adopt her and that he felt bad about it. But it wouldn't be fair to anyone. He said he knows we are a package deal and would always treat her well and like a part of the family, but he couldn't be her dad. He told me he was sorry and he felt guilty and that he would take care of it and I didn't have to. My heart never hurt more in that moment, and I genuinely feel like I failed my daughter. I told him I didn't want him to speak to her about it, and that if he doesn't think of her as his kid, then it is my job as a parent to take care of her. I don't know what to do. Do I ask for a divorce? I felt sick, dizzy, and numb all week. How do I tell my daughter? He's helped raise her and shared the best and worst moments with her. I don't know what to do.
I don't think you should get a divorce over it, because, I mean, adoption and raising is two different things. I wouldn't expect, me personally, I wouldn't expect someone to adopt my children, but that's just me. I would not, I mean, obviously he's obviously assisted in raising the little girl. It does suck that he doesn't want to adopt her, but I mean, that's kind of, I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I would not be so mad. I'm glad he didn't just tell the girl no to her face. I'm sure that they can pretend it happened. I don't know. I don't know how she got to this idea that she wanted him to do that and where she got these adoption ideas. I need a backstory. How did she even come up with this? Because most kids don't, that are raised in step-parent homes. I know that my stepdad asked, and I said no, I didn't want him to adopt me. But, I mean, and it's fine. But, I mean, I think you could get turned down either way, but it's a slippery slope. I personally don't think anybody's obligated to that. What do you guys think? I'm going to play the last one.
In 2008, we got married in 2011. We had our first child in 2011. We had our second child in 2015. We've been married for 10 years. We've been together for 13 years. We just recently found out we're brothers and sisters.
So yeah, this story's been kind of blowing up social media. This couple, they discovered that they're siblings after 10 years of marriage. And I'm looking at their picture. They look like siblings. I know they say husbands and wives start to look alike, but these people look alike. And maybe because I know they're siblings. Sorry for the high-pitched voice, but yes, an American couple has revealed that they discovered that they are siblings after 10 years of marriage with 2 kids. Their announcement was made a video sharing on TikTok that he and his wife have been together for 14 years. They now have 2 kids together, only to find out recently they are siblings. I met her in 2008. All that he said, they have been married for 14 years and they've been together for 13. We just recently found out we're brother and sister. Some internet users were perplexed as to how that could occur. They wanted to know if the couple's family attended the wedding. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these are all questions. Others were less forgiving, claiming that by glimpsing at them, exactly, they look alike. Unfortunately, couples finding out they are siblings is not rare as you think. After a strong 7-year marriage and 6-year-old daughter together, a Brazilian couple found out they were brother and sister in 2014. And in 2011, a South African couple who had been together for 5 years was shocked to hear they were brother and sister. When the two had been raised by single parents, introduced each other, and they found that out then. Eesh. How do you, I mean, it's kind of too late, man. So I told y'all I was going to give y'all that prayer because y'all gotta be careful about this. So I'm going to give you a couple of powerful prayers. This is a prayer for evils outside of the home or workplace. Heavenly Father, I seek your protection from wickedness of the evil one. You are Almighty God, and his power doesn't stand a chance to the might you yield. I come to your refuge with joy for your shelter. Shelter me against the attack of the devil. Protect me from the craftiness of the enemy and save me from his evil plots. Cover me with your presence when I'm weak so that he will flee from your presence. Amen. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Y'all got to start praying up because I'm telling y'all, even listening to these stories and being on this internet and seeing all this evil stuff, like it's all around you. I know I joke and play a lot, but that stuff can get on you. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all need to be careful. Like, I joke and laugh a lot, but we are dealing with a lot of spirits. A lot of people got issues and no answers. Getting that book for the answers, and the Bible for real. I'm not playing with y'all on this. Like, I joke a lot, but things can get a hold of you and take you to a dark place. And as much as we laugh and have fun, I don't play about these kind of things. So just be careful out there, y'all. I'm praying for y'all too. Efforts for Family is signing out. Y'all be safe.